Sometimes a book has you at the title. One glance and you just know this book was meant for you. I'm Anne Strainchamps, and this is Bookmarks.
My name is Chris Ware. I am a graphic novelist. The book I would like to recommend to readers who might not otherwise know about it is called Society is Nix. It's published by Sunday Press Books. I guess the most obvious thing about it immediately is its size. It is the size of an old-fashioned turn-of-the-century newspaper broadsheet page, and there's a reason for that in that it reprints full-size turn-of-the-century newspaper broadsheet pages, namely comic strips from the turn of the century, slightly before up until about 1920 or so, in all of their color and on nice paper. The most amazing thing about this book to me is how incredibly experimental and avant-garde it is, and it's over 110 years old for the most part, most of these pages, and there's more interesting visual experimentation, narrative experimentation, simple, strange, weird, human honesty about what was going on in America at that time. It's like the top of the American pumpkin was cut open and you just plunge your hand in and you come out with stringy, slopping seeds. But it's a beautiful example of cartoonists trying to find out what this new medium possibly could be, and they really have no idea. And it's a wonderful time in the history of comics because every single page is an incredible experiment in how do I tell a story visually, and what happens when I put one picture next to another picture, what happens to the overall composition of the page. There's more here about what it feels like to be alive than I feel like there was in the comics of the 40s and 50s, which seemed to be more what it feels like to try to make a comic strip look like a movie or an adventure story. Little details of how people were living their lives, how the world felt at that point, how a chair felt, what it looked like, how people emoted. This drawing here of Buster Brown crying is just horrifying because it's not a cartoon drawing, it's an actual drawing of a child crying, and it's genuinely disturbing. I feel like I'm not doing this book justice. You really need to see it. And there's nothing more annoying than I'm doing the public radio thing, which I feel like occasionally they'll talk about a recipe and they'll make it on air, and then you have to hear the host eat it, which is so disgusting. And they've got to say, that's really good. So here I am turning these big floppy pages, and you can only imagine how wonderful it looks, and I'm doing it no service at all. All I can say is I would highly recommend it. It's worth it. To me, I feel like this is the American art.
Beautiful to look at, wonderful to read. The book is Society is Nix, Gleeful Anarchy of the Dawn of the American Comic Strip by Peter Maraska. Recommended by Chris Ware, the graphic novelist and author of Jimmy Corrigan, The Smartest Kid on Earth. Bookmarks are produced at the very bookish studio of To the Best of Our Knowledge. Download, subscribe, and share them at ttbook.org/bookmarks.